The second habit of a great marriage is honor your spouse. Yes, in the last video, I spoke about the six great habits that makes a great marriage. And I said the first one, self-responsibility. Self-responsibility. I said so much about self-responsibility, which includes responsibility to your spouse, responsibility for yourself, accountability, instead of playing the victim game. If you need to know more about self-responsibility in marriage, please watch that last video. It's really important. And if you've not been following us in this series right from where when I started, I have about three videos on the series, which I topic creating or how to create a healthy and happy marriage. I got my revelation from the book of Matthew that actually spoke about the parable of the seed sower, where we have some fell on the path, some fell on the good soil. And you know, good soil actually requires investment and effort to see it grow. So the journey of marriage requires intentionality, it requires effort, it requires great care and a lot of investment in order for you to see um, good and happy marriage exist. And another thing I said is the next time you see people celebrating 20 years anniversary, 30 years, 50 years, even 10 years, please go back and give them their flowers because a lot of effort has been put into this. So welcome to Empathy Connect YouTube channel. My name is Odayo Blessing. I will be talking to you about the second habit that makes a great marriage, which is honor your spouse. I have few points on that it, and I will be glad if you follow me through because you see, here we're going to be talking about, or let me just start. When we talk about honor your spouse, you see the same honor that you give to outsiders. Yes, I mean your superior. If you're a staff, you work under bosses, you know how you honor your bosses, right? Or let's assume a governor or a president visit you, you know how you just reference them, the way you welcome them, you just receive them as visitors, the honor you give to them. Yes, that's exactly what it means to honor. Yes, to reference, to respect. Now, under this honor your spouse, and the first thing we'll be talking about under it is the gift of honor and acceptance. This really goes a long way. When it comes to gift of honor and acceptance, it means you are accepting your spouse the way God has created them, the way God has blessed you with them. You are seeing them as your greatest gift. Yes, one of your greatest gifts. So you just respect them as a person of dignity and what. That's what the gift of honor and acceptance. Yes, you're going to say to your spouse, I accept you. Yes, I accept you the way you are. I accept you as an honorable person. And then the second point we have here is going to be about your partner's bill of rights. I'm not going to waste time too much on this because I know you might not have the whole time to watch this. But if at all the video seems too long for you to finish at once, you can come back to learn one or two from it. You're wondering, yes, even in our country, we have our Bill of Rights, which is a citizen. Yes, we have Citizens Bill of Rights, if I'm right anyway. But for a relationship and for a successful marriage, I want you to know that your partner has his or her own Bill of Rights. And the first right they have is they have the right to his or her needs. They have the right to his or her needs, their wants, their thoughts, and also their feelings. So you need to respect that. That is one of the way to honor your spouse when it comes to the realization that okay, this person is human and they have the right to their thoughts, their feelings, and their needs. Then you will be able to give them, you know, the honor they deserve whenever their needs is being expressed or whenever they are in their feelings or in their thoughts. That is the only best way for you to honor them. Yes. And another thing that you need to do is they have the right to be heard and respected. See, like in the subsequent videos that we've done and that we'll still even do, I want you to know that a lot would still be said. Yes, there was one particular point we said in the last one, which was invalidation. You should, when you come to the realization that, okay, I want to honor my spouse, so I know that they have the right to be heard and respected. That means you are validating the thoughts and feelings that we talk about in the first one. So get it right now that your partner has the bill of rights. They have the right to be heard. They have the right to be respected whenever their needs are being expressed, or whenever their thoughts are being expressed, or whenever their feelings are being expressed. And then the third one under the partner bill of rights, they have the right to choose. See, this particular point is funny because a lot of marriages are failed because there is this way the one partner is being impulsive, yes, is being forceful over his choice over our choice. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but I want you to know that your partner has the bill of rights, I mean, has a right to choose. If you are confused about this, even the Bible, if you're a Christian, the Bible said something in Deuteronomy. God placed before us the life and death, and then He gave us choices, even though He already made us understand where the consequences attached to every choices. So that is it. The same way they can express their feelings, they can do this, they can you can make them feel heard. Another way to honor them is to what? To understand that they have the right to choices. Yes, you're not going to be forceful on them just because you are the head of the family, or because as a wife you have so much influence over them. No, they have the right to choice. And the last one under your partner's bill of rights is that they have the right to be imperfect and make mistakes. If this actually surprises you, you should know that it shouldn't surprise you. So for marriages that you've seen collapse because they feel like, oh, you're not doing it the way I should have done it. Oh, you're not doing this. Oh, you're not doing, it's because you've not come to the understanding that one of the ways to honor your spouse is to allow them make mistakes. Don't expect perfection from them because they are also human like you. So if I'm talking about honoring your spouse, I mean you have accepted them, you are seeing them as a worthy person and what? A person of value, a person that you've accepted their mistakes. You have chosen to love them over and over again. You have chosen to make them feel heard, make them feel respected. You understand that each time they express themselves, no, they are not trying to overstep boundaries, or they are not trying to dismiss your own feelings. Do you understand? So these are your partner's bill of right. And the first one I said we're going to be talking about honor your spouse. This honor comes in both. It comes in both dimensions. Yeah, it's not limited to just a woman honoring the husband or a husband honoring the wife. I mean, the two must honor themselves. You, as a husband, you must honor your wife, and as a wife, you must honor what? Your husband. And as a wife, you must honor your husband. So another point here, is honor your spouse. We've talked about the gift of honor and acceptance. That's the first point. The second one is what? Your partner's bill of right. And we've spoken about the right of your partner in your home, in your life. You're not to subdue them. You're actually to let them know that yes, they are part of you. You honor them. And then the third point is you have to see them as what? As human like you. I mean, I to eat, and then I to what? To thou. When I say I to eat, I mean you're not seeing them as an object. You're seeing them as I to thou. That is I to human. So you're not supposed to start suspecting everything they do. Yes, the same way you think you have a good thought towards them is the same way they have a good thought towards you. Objects are to be used and dumped. Use it to fulfill the particular responsibility is meant to be carried out, and then once you're done you trash it. But as human, your spouse is not meant to be trashed. Your spouse is meant to be loved. It's meant, the way you want something is the way they want. So you need to see your spouse as human being like you, a person that loves you the way you love them. You must not see them as an adversaries that you need to protect yourself against, or you see them as adversaries that you need to compete with. You're not in competition. You need to understand that, okay, this person, is my guy. He knows what I want. He understands me. We are on the same race. Yes, we are on the same journey. We are walking the same path. And of course, we have the same goal. You understand? That is another way to honor your spouse. You have accepted them. You know that they have feelings like you. They can cry like you. They have senses like you. They can think like you. That is when you're seeing them as I thou instead of I it. Your spouse is not an object. So as you're thinking and overthinking that particular issue, know that he also or she also is also thinking. Yes, they are filled with thoughts too. And then the that will be the fourth point now under honor your spouse is speak your uh, spouse's love language. You see, this one is part of honor. I've seen couples, they'll just be like, and I honor her, I do this for her, I buy gifts, I give it to her anytime I'm coming back from work, but that is not what she wants, or that is not what he wants. So, and they feel dishonor, they don't feel love. And if you to men, when you respect them, that is loving them. And to women, when you actually love them, that is you what? Loving them real. Now, how do you know that you have really communicated? This reminds me like my husband, we have a discussion recently about a particular person, and he said this person loves to be called chief. You understand? There's a particular customer that loves to be called chief. But my husband insisted that no, I'm not going to call him chief. What's the title about? And I'm like, this is how this person feels honored. Why not do it the way the person wants? Instead of trying to bring about issue upon yourself. Does calling him chief reduces your standard or reduces who you are, or does it have any impact on you? Of course it doesn't. So it's like couples too, in marriage you have so many ways of speaking just because we came from different backgrounds. To some it might be gifting gift, it might be quality time, it might be act of service. We have five love languages: words of affirmation, quality time, act of service, physical touch, receiving gifts. We have five: receiving gifts, quality time, act of service, physical touch, and words of affirmation. So if you think you have done all of this and you've not actually spoken what your spouses need, you are not honoring them. So it's another way of knowing that this is their needs and I need to meet it. I need to make this person feel loved. You understand? So going forward, I want you to work on these things. If you don't know your partner's love language, ask them, have a conversation with them. If you are not being observant enough to know that thing that you do for them and it makes them feel loved, they just want to throw themselves at you, or it brings tears to their eyes, it makes them feel valued. Those are love languages. If it's sitting down with them, having a touch, that is what they want, then that is their love language. And that is the way to make your partner what? Feel loved, feel relevant, feel honored, because we are talking about honor your spouse. Then the last point under this honor your spouse that I'm going to talk about is, as a man or as a woman, you need to understand the way the other gender thinks. I think that was the first thing I did, because I used to feel like if I express myself to my fellow women, there is a way they make me feel, oh, they make there's this emotional thing like, and I understand, or they give me hope. But if you talk to your spouse like men, they're just like, guy, whatever. Now that one no reach, it's not up to that, the way they just take things. So we are going to be discussing about how men think and how women think. You need to know the difference between a man and a woman, so that going forward you will know that the way you are looking at things is not the same way your spouse is looking at things. And the first thing you need to do, to understand about a man and a woman, is that a man is logical. Yes, a man is logical, always looking for a way to solve problems. They are looking for a way to accomplish one thing or the other. But you see, women, we are just created to, we are emotional, We are nurturers. We are meant to care. Yes, that's the way we are. We give attention to details. And then you see the greatest problem of a woman is that, or the greatest complaint that we as women give about our men is that men don't listen. And you see the greatest complaint that men also give about women is that women are trying to change them. Please, you need to go and do a lot of research, or if you have family friends, I mean couples, you can just have a weekend discussion with them, sit with them and see the way you will see that you are not missing out anything. It's the same thing everywhere. It's the same problem that every couples has. So now what I'm saying is women complain that men don't listen, why men complain that women are trying to change them. And the moment you get it that men are just logical, you can't change them to be emotional. Of course, they can acknowledge your emotions, they can also make you realize that, okay, let's provide a solution. Because most times when women talks to men, we expect them to actually provide support. You expect them to call you, you expect them to give you help. But men will just, at that point, they're already looking for the solution to bring out that emotional damage or emotional irregulation that you are in. So they are not seeing it as let me offer compassion or let me offer up to you. So you need to get that in order for you to dwell with your spouses in peace, to honor them. And another point under this, women wants to talk about everything, and that is why men they get tired. They call us talkative. But you need to understand that your man is not wired the way you're wired. Man doesn't want to talk about everything. Before they even put their mouth to talk about anything, my dear, they've already looked for solution about it. They are not wired that way. We don't need solution. We just want to talk about everything. Okay, this was how, but men, they would have sat down, even if they have issues, they have two alternative solutions to that issue. So that is how men are wired. So another thing is women need to feel cherished and supported. That's it. We need to, each time you need to know that your wife needs to feel cherished and supported. And you as a woman, you need to understand that your men, they only feel empowered when they are needed. So you don't need to let them feel like they are not needed in that particular situation at that particular moment, because that is the way they feel cherished and that is the way they feel loved. Okay, when you make them feel like okay, their presence is needed, their contribution is needed, that is when they, wherever they need to work, like that is when they feel like okay, you make them feel protective of you, like without them you can't do this. Yes, they will come in charge of it, because there are a lot of things I just let my husband do, not because I can't do it, but because I notice when he does it for me, that is where I see the smile. It feels like, oh yes, and I love it. That is his own way of feeling cherished and feeling loved, right? And you need to get it as a woman that the way men are wired is that wherever they are needed, they feel cherished and they even go there. But the moment you make them feel less of themselves and feel not needed in the house or in the home, they too they step down. And that is when you see that they withdraw from everything. And that is another way of honoring your. So I won't dwell too much. You need to make your research too. So from there, I'm just going to talk about some common mistakes that men make and women make, so that for us to actually teach ourselves on how to honor our spouses better. For men minimizes the importance of the feelings of their spouse's feelings and needs. They also instead of saying something, they prefer to walk away, because that would they feel like if they walk away and provide solution to that thing at that moment, it will actually bring about the whole it will bring settlement to the whole mess. Those are the mistakes that men make. Men too, they don't acknowledge women's feelings in such a way that they don't have emotions. But over time, our men are really improving. And so what I'm going to say now is you need to understand how men manage personal conflict, their emotions, how they think. Also understand how women does all this. You need to understand their relationship. Just read and learn about them, because I know I can't cover all in this particular video. So another thing I want you to know is that men also does not open up easily. So for you as a woman to want your man to or man to open up to you, it takes a lot of patience, understanding that that is the way they are wired, and then you make them feel loved, cherished, and respected. Women are naturally openers. We open up to anybody. So concluding that, I'm just going to tell you again or recap the few points I said under honoring your spouse. I said the first thing is the gift of honor and acceptance. And then I said the second one is your partner's bill of rights. And then the third one, which I spoke about, is I eat versus I thou. And then and the next one I spoke about is your partner's love language. While the last one I spoke about is the difference between men and women in order for you to understand better how to honor your spouse. So now after listening to all of this, I want to give you a particular test to work with or a particular exam which I call a forgiveness letter. Yes, you need to write a forgiveness letter to yourself, not to your spouse. And probably maybe the last section of this particular letter can be shown to your spouse, but I want you to write this to yourself and not to show to your spouse, because what I'm going to ask you to write would not be necessary to show to your spouse. Then maybe the last section you can show it to your spouse. So I have about 6 sections under this forgiveness letter that I want you to write. The first one, you're going to write about your anger and blame. Like, please continue. You write this letter till you are exhausted. You write in love, you write in openness. Just know that you're communicating with your book and your pen. So I said the first section of the letter is going to be anger and blame. And you're going to write in there that I hate it when you write in front of that. I have resented you for write the reason. And then the last one under this, you're going to I get frustrated with you when just write the point. Write it as much as you can. Nobody is reading with you, so of course you're going to write it down. And then the second section, which is going to be hurt and sadness, you're going to write I feel hurt when you're going to write I feel sad when write it. It hurt me when write it. I feel disappointed that write it under that also. Then the section C, you're going to write for fear and insecurity. I'm afraid that write whatever you're afraid that. It scares me that write whatever that scares you about him or anything. Then I'm worried that write it under it. Just write as much as you can, knowing that nobody is going to read it with you. So for section 4, so this section is going to be for remorse and responsibility. You're going to start with I'm sorry for anything that you know you've done wrong. Please apologize for it under this particular section. And the next one is going, I recognize I hurt you by whatever that you know that you did intentionally, write it here. And then you're going to write for the last one under this, please forgive me for saying or doing. Yes, please forgive me. And then we move to the next section, which is going to be intention and wishes. Yes, what are the things you wish? And the first thing you're going to write under this is I would like, whatever that you would like, write it. What I want to be different, I am committed to. And then we'll move to the next section, which is going to love, understanding, and appreciation. And under this, you're going to write, I love the way I admire you, I love you because, thank you for, I'm grateful for, anything that you can just think of about love, appreciation, just write it there. Then the last one, which is unconditional acceptance. Here you're going to write, I feel remorse about ways I've failed to honor you. That's what you're going to write here. Anything that you feel remorseful about, write it under this. You're going to write your willingness to let go of judgment, expectations, and resentment. Write it here too. The character or attribute that you admire about them. Just um, just think about what you've accepted about them unconditionally. So over here, this is what will end this particular section about. Oh, if this video really bless you, please do ensure to like it, share also, and subscribe for more content. Check out other videos if you've not seen it. This is the second great habit of marriage, which is honor your spouse, and we've spoken about everything that means honor to your spouse. So, and I pray that as you start this as you think about it. May you get answers and may you be engraced to even do more than you had in Jesus' name. So I pray that our home will remain steady, happy, and loving in Jesus' name. Thank you for watching, and I remain your favorite girl, Odra, your blessing. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.